Welcome back to the Olympus Report, Demigods, Monsters, and Gods Alike. There are a lot of books in the Riordanverse, way more than the main series books. There are short stories and companion books. But what exactly are these books? Well, here's everything you need to know about the companion books in Percy Jackson and the Riordanverse. Just to clarify, this is not a review or a reading order of these books. This is just to help explain what exactly these books are. Alright, let's start with the Percy Jackson companion books. Up first, we have Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Ultimate Guide. This book serves as a fully illustrated, in-depth guide to gods, monsters, and all things Percy Jackson. This book will give you some more information on the characters, gods, Camp Half-Blood, spirits, and creatures of the Riordanverse. This book includes trading cards of Luke, Hyperion, Hestia, Grover, Athena, Zeus, Poseidon, Percy, and Annabeth. Up next is the Demigod Files. This book is a collection of short stories that happens during the original 5 Percy Jackson books. The short stories include Percy Jackson and the Stolen Chariot, Percy Jackson and the Bronze Dragon, and Percy Jackson and the Sword of Hades. The book also includes letters from Camp Half-Blood and interviews with Percy Jackson, Annabeth Chase, Grover Underwood, Clarice LaRue, and Connor and Travis Stoll. There's also information on the gods and a guide to the magical weapons and items of Percy Jackson. We also get an inside look into Annabeth's trunk. This book also includes fun puzzles and trivia games to test your Percy Jackson knowledge. If you enjoyed these short stories, fear not, there's even more published in the Demigod Diaries. These short stories take place during the 5 Heroes of Olympus books, except one which takes place actually before the original 5 Percy Jackson books. That would be the Diary of Luke Castellan. The others would take place during the Heroes of Olympus. They include Leo Valdez in the Quest for Buford and The Son of Magic. This book also pictures some fun artwork, puzzles and games, a copy of The Prophecy of Seven, and a map of Bunker 9. There's also one more Percy Jackson short story not published in either of these books. Percy Jackson and the Singer of Apollo can be found in the paperback version of The Hidden Oracle. Up next is Demigods and Monsters. This book contains the pros and cons of having a god as a parent, why Dionysus may be the best director at Camp Half-Blood, how to tell a monster when you see one, how Medusa got her snake hair extensions, why Chiron isn't partying and paintballing like the rest of his centaur family, and the complete story on Percy Jackson's mythical namesake Perseus, and plenty of fun quizzes. The next book we have is Camp Half-Blood Confidential. This book is all about Camp Half-Blood. In response to the awful camp orientation video created by the god Apollo, Percy Jackson and other residents of Camp Half-Blood answer questions such as, what is this place? Do I get to keep the t-shirt? Newbies can check out the section on the Divine Cabins, read up on magical landmarks, and consult the chapter of Training Arenas. Up next is Camp Jupiter Classified, a Probatio's journal. It is a companion book under the Trials of Apollo. It is structured as a diary and tells the story of Claudia, a legacy of Mercury, and a Probatio in the 4th cohort. This is a great book that gives us more information on Camp Jupiter and what life is like there. We then have 2 books written and told from Percy Jackson himself. Percy Jackson Greek Gods and Percy Jackson Greek Heroes. In these books, Percy tells us about all the famous Greek gods and heroes, while adding his own flair to the stories. Alright, let's move on to the Kane Chronicles companion books. Up first, we have the Kane Chronicles Survival Guide. This book is similar to the Percy Jackson Ultimate Guide. The book serves as a fully illustrated, in-depth guide to gods, monsters, and all things Kane Chronicles, including the story so far, a brief recap, introducing the Kanes, facts about the Kane family, gods and goddesses, dark deities and beastly things, hieroglyphs, symbols, and commands, exploring the House of Life, ancient Egypt, a brief history, welcome to the 21st Gnome, Carter and Sadie's trainee magicians, guide to magical phrases, artifacts of power, and traveling with the Kanes. The book also includes cards with pictures of the characters that can be arranged into a pyramid. The next companion book is actually a companion book to the Kane Chronicles and Percy Jackson. Demigods and Magicians is a collection of 3 short stories where Percy and Annabeth meet Carter and Sadie and face off against Kane Chronicle villain Setney. The short stories include The Son of Sobek, The Staff of Cerberus, and The Crown of Ptolemy. The last Kane Chronicles companion book is Brooklyn House, a Magician's Manual. It is a guidebook about magicians and Egyptian gods. This book continues the stories of demigods and magicians, and different chapters are told by different characters, including Carter, Zia, Walt, Sadie, and Setney. Okay, now moving on to the Magnus Chase companion books. Up first, Hotel Valhalla, Guide to the Norse Worlds. This book is your one-stop guide to all things Norse mythology, including gods, goddesses, mythical beings, fantastic creatures, and all other important Norse figures. Like the other guidebooks, different chapters are told from different characters' perspectives. Alright, if you're still with me, we only have one book left to go. 9 from the 9 Worlds is a collection of 9 short stories, with each story being narrated by a different character from the Magnus Chase series. It also has illustrated pictures of some of the Magnus Chase characters as well as some of the worlds from Norse mythology. Oh, we made it to the end. Did you even know half these books existed? And if you did this video help you decide, should I read them? Or if you've already read them, which book is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. But until next time, I'm signing off, and please, as always, stay safe.